Pull up.
Hey, this is the pull-up show. We still got the key in the dough.
Welcome to another Tony and Tony All
All
Things,
Things
Podcast.
This is the
Pull
pull-up
up.
edition.
Yes,
Pull up.
sir. Hey, dude, you might get kicked out the rest of the day.
Yeah, no throwing things in the field.
Hey, man.
All right, guys. So this one we are going to talk about Georgia Tech versus Clemson. Now, it's a great game. Georgia Tech edged it out 24-21. And I'm going to open this one up with this question. Was this a case of Clemson underestimating Georgia Tech, or was it more about Georgia Tech proving themselves under pressure?
Some of the commentators said during one of the kickoffs was Georgia Tech is always viewed as an underdog, but now they're winning games, so they don't want that underdog and pressure no more. They want to be expected to win these type of games. So Georgia Tech was coming out. They had a chip on their shoulder. Clemson, they knew what they had to do. They knew that this game was important. They knew they needed to win, and they fell short. I really believe that Georgia Tech was trying to prove themselves as a capable team this year, putting everything on the line. The quarterback put everything he had on the line, and you could just tell they wanted it more. Clemson, on the other hand, Clemson's in this point where they have an exceptional team with a lot of injuries. Antonio Williams is still out again, our leading receiver, but that shouldn't matter if you have a Heisman caliber quarterback. If you have an O-line that has 2 NFL prospects on it. If you have other wide receivers who were injured last year that you were hoping to be ready for this year because that was the excuse for last year. So this is a team that one player like Antonio Williams shouldn't make that big of a difference when everybody else on that team equally and shares the load for a winning and dominating team.
Yeah, I mean, and just speaking of Hayes King, well, actually, let me just answer the question. I don't think Clemson underestimated Georgia Tech, but I do think, because I mean, even right now, I was checking ESPN and they're basically asking the question, can Hayes King win the Heisman? I know if he did all of that, but I mean, basically what he threw for over 200 some yards, ran for over 100. You know, I mean, we watched the game, you know, when they played against Colorado, and I was just like, I was impressed because it just seemed like they couldn't stop him. But, you know, that goes again to say, you know, Colorado doesn't really have a great defense anyway. But to see what he was doing, I mean, to run for over 100 yards, I mean, he is basically a big part of their offense running game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess to answer the question, I don't think Clemson underestimated them. I just think Georgia Tech is a good team. But here's the thing. I know we were talking about this earlier. Why does Clemson always start off so slow? Isn't this like the third game that they started off slow and then they're having to come back? It's like it seems like it takes a while, maybe a couple quarters for them to start clicking on all cylinders.
This is a case time and time again where, like I said in the first game, you can't miss a field goal and lose by a field goal. We're losing games by field goals. We're losing games off of literally not executing simple things. Simple things. You get a long drive, you throw a pick near the red zone outside the 30-yard line. You get down, you're supposed to get a field goal, some points out of the drive. You mess up and they take it for 45 yards back and they contribute and score they score on their own little drive off of our mistake. Haynes King didn't throw a single touchdown. Haynes King ran 25 times. 25 times. We let one person beat us on Saturday. We ran 2 back-to-back QB draws. We ran too many times with Cade Klubnik trying to replicate Haynes King when we should have been using our weapons. We have Randall going 15 carries for 80 yards, 1 touchdown. We have literally Cade Klubnik carrying the ball 17 times and him scoring. But at the end of the day, Cade Klubnik should be airing this ball out, spreading the field around, and it should have been easy for them to do. Moving the
Yeah.
ball into field goal territory is something that Clemson can do night in and night out. Coming in and missing and not contributing in points in the first half and then trying to scramble and trying to become a better team in the second half is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Trying to fight back a team that's already up and they already have the upper hand at home, what did you expect?
Yeah. What does this say about Debo? I mean, is there questions about his coaching style? I mean, has he lost the players? Like, what's going on with Debo?
For Dabo, I knew you meant Dabo. For Dabo, he might
Yeah.
as well be Debo because the way he's
Might
going
as well,
around, he's just
Debo. What you got on
bullying
my 40?
transfers. Yeah, it's like, what you got, Kate Klenick? You got any more touchdowns for me this year? Or am I going to have
Right.
to find someone else? But basically, Dabo, right now, I can't even blame him for anything that's going on because at the end of the day, they're getting themselves into games where they should be winning and they're close to winning. It comes down to literally you have a Heisman caliber quarterback who's not playing Heisman caliber ball. It's the same feeling that you have with Arch Manning playing UTEP and he's throwing an interception and you're like, bro, it's 97 yards for an interception. You're getting booed. This is the same feeling that I'm having for this Clemson team. The same movie I've seen time and time again. The teams that we're supposed to beat in the ACC, we lose to. I guarantee if this was Wake Forest of last year, we would have lost to them in the same way at the same time.
Wow.
We're literally going into games, crossing our fingers, singing a Hail Mary, and hoping that we actually get in and win these games. At the end of the day, you can't miss a field goal and lose by a field goal and wonder what happens. It happens twice. Twice against teams who won it more than us.
Yeah. And I think I want to focus in on this with Dabo on these timeouts. I think he had 2 timeouts left that he could have used. Here you have Georgia Tech. They're coming down for this last drive that basically they can go ahead and kick a field goal. And I think at the time, Georgia Tech didn't have any timeouts on this. And they decided to run a play. And they were talking about Georgia Tech is basically running this fire drill. Like, hey, we don't need to have a timeout. Basically, we just need enough time just to run our kicking team out there, hike the ball, and kick it. Do you think that was a mistake that Dabo didn't call a timeout?
Yes, there's 2 things in that play that I want to focus on. One, the player who was laying on the dude who just got the ball. First and foremost, just lay on the dude. Just lay on him until the refs come and pull you off of him. Time is ticking, time is going.
Yeah, they're not going to put more time on the clock because of that. So, yeah.
It's like, have awareness. Know the game is close and they think they're going to do something like that. Just lay on the dude. A couple seconds, 3 seconds goes by, the game's over if they get out there on time. 2, you see them out there, as soon as you see them about to get ready, just call a timeout and ice the kid.
That's true.
I mean, it's kind of like you're hoping like, well, maybe since they ran out there so fast, they're not going to get it. It's like, why are we chancing something? It's 55 yards. It's a 55-yard field goal. Ice the kid.
I thought about that also. I was on your side with that. I was thinking, yes, you need to ice him. Call 2 timeouts in a row or something if you're allowed to, if you still have those. But I started thinking, okay, maybe they thought a little bit too much about this. Of thinking, yeah, they're going to run out there. He's going to be off. They can't possibly make this. This is more pressure on them in order to get everything right, to get everybody lined up without a legal procedure or anything like that. It has to be a great snap, a great hole, and then you have to be an accurate kicker. So in that regard, I started thinking, okay, I can see why Dabo decided not to call a timeout. But then again, if you did your research, you already did your in-game planning, you already know this is something that Georgia Tech is good with. They're good with this fire drill. This is something that they practice. So you already know this is in their wheelhouse. So if you know if it's in their wheelhouse and they practice this, yes, call the timeout, ice them. And I think that was a big mistake on that last play. I mean, here we have it. They're basically out of the, AP top 25? But I think if we look at if last year is anything of a lesson, I believe they still have a chance. Who knows how the ACC is going to fallout. You could have Miami losing a couple games, Florida State, and then only thing it takes is Clemson just to be in that position to where they can rise up and make it into that championship game like they did last year. But I
Only
tell you
way
that,
this happens, only way that happens is if Miami loses, tragically, if Florida State loses, and Georgia Tech loses. Everyone needs to have one loss, and they need to be one of those contributing losses.
yeah, that's true. So I don't know. So what's the feeling with Tiger Nation? What's the buzz that's going around, and social media?
First and foremost, is the Dabo legacy over? Is this great program finally about to hit a downfall and decline? You could feel it a little last year, but we made it to the playoffs. You could kind of feel it when Cape Klubnik was, a couple years ago, because you're kind of wondering, man, this kind of makes you feel a little bit like when Deshaun Watson first played and he was a freshman, and you're like, I don't know about this kid. It kind of made you feel that way of, is this it? Are we not going to see another um, great 3-year, 4-year span? Is this the end of another Nick Saban type coach?
Right.
You're just kind of wondering, is this where our downfall starts? Because luckily for us, and unlike Notre Dame, with those 2 losses, it's hard to think about playoffs. For us, there's still a sliver of a chance. You just need
Right.
to have Florida State lose to an ACC team that we know we can beat. You need to have Georgia Tech lose to an ACC team, and you just got to be one of those teams that went out against one of those teams. And as our schedule beholds, and as we're looking at it, we have Florida State on our roster or on our
Mm.
calendar. We need to win that game. Every ACC game coming forward is key, and it's important for us. And when we look at Georgia Tech, they have not really any other ACC opponents that can really take them down besides Virginia Tech.
Wow.
So that's bothersome for us. That's very
Yeah.
bothersome for us. This is supposed to be a guaranteed win.
Yeah. And I guess, that was one of the debate things, are Debo's best coaching days behind him. Um, but also, did Clemson lose this, or did Georgia Tech just basically flat out win it?
Clemson lost this. Georgia Tech ran their quarterback 25 times. They're running. They're just gonna keep running. I mean, even the dude looked like he was beat up,
Yeah.
limping, like he was being overused. If you play NCAA 26, his wear and tear was severe. Like
Mm.
he's should have been subbed out, but we just willingly gave that game away because we're not executing in the first half. They're not really stopping us. We're stopping ourselves. And at the end of the day, as a Clemson fan, this is something I don't want to see. Now, something interesting that I wanted to talk to you about today was the
Okay.
AP poll. Was the
Mm.
AP poll that came out. And man, it's looking a little different than what I expected the first week we talked about this. 2 notable things that I see on this list that may excite you. Well, let's say 3. First thing, Miami is in number 4.
All right. I like that. All right. Come on. Come on.
You guys moved up a spot from 5. Tennessee, even though losing to Georgia, didn't move in the rankings at all. They're still at number 15. Nothing happened to them. And Alabama, this is not my third one. Alabama jumped over them to number 14. And Notre Dame 0-2 is ranked 24th.
Yeah. There's some question marks on this. I think the one with the Alabama, I mean, who have they beat? Wisconsin? And then they blew out this other team 73-0. I mean, that's not even, come on now. I mean, these are people that we're just putting on the schedule. I mean, we're basically paying them in order to play. And because of that, they jump up above Tennessee. And Tennessee lost to, because I was going to go with the narrative of, okay, maybe I can understand Notre Dame
Mhm.
because they've basically lost to 2 top 10 teams, with Miami being at number 4 and Texas A&M at 10 right now. So you can make an argument for that. But Alabama, I mean, Tennessee, I mean, they lost to Georgia.
and didn't move at
And
all.
right, and Georgia's 5th. So I don't know. I mean, I think the voters are basically looking at the history. Okay, it's Alabama. Um, we gotta have Alabama in here. This can't be a college football, um, season without Alabama sorta in the top 20.
Yeah.
And then also I think Notre Dame. Hey, they went to the championship game last year. But yeah, I don't they should be out. I mean, 0-2. I mean, like you said, I'm going through this. They're the only 0-2 team?
Only 0-2 teams. South Carolina lost to Vandy, but they were number 11th, and they're not even in here no more. Clemson, number 12, they lost one. They're 1-2. They're not even in here anymore. And I'm just wondering, looking at this, I mean, you can put South Florida, BYU, you can put a few other teams in here, maybe Mississippi State up in there. But at the end of the day, Notre Dame should not be ranked at all. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if they lost to two ranked teams. They should not be ranked. There should be other teams in. No 0-2 team should be in a ranked spot. And honestly, looking at this list and going through, I see Georgia Tech, they're number 18, and the Utes, Utah, they're number 16. But really, what's interesting is not Miami, Texas went down one spot from 7 to 8 after the UTEP game, and Florida
Mm.
State is in their spot. I don't really know if Florida State is top 10, but it's interesting to see for the first time in a long time Florida State and Miami over Clemson in the rankings, and Clemson not there at all.
Yeah. And just for a rundown, everybody, we're going to go through the rankings. So we have number 1, Ohio State, number 2, Penn State. We have number 3, LSU. So all of those basically stayed the same. Miami moved up 1, so they're 4. Georgia also moved up 1 at number 5. Oregon moved down 2 spots from 4th to 6th. Um, FSU, they moved up 3 to number 7. We have Texas moved down 1. Illinois stayed the same. I mean, I can understand that. They really wasn't playing against anybody. And to round off the top 10, Texas A&M coming in basically beating Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So there's your top 10 right there, guys.
Yeah, top 10. And as you know it, as things come through, the newest one in here is USC at number 25. So we got just something a little new. Vanderbilt is actually ranked number
Oh,
20.
oh,
So,
that's a team to watch. I saw a little bit
yeah.
of highlights. That was exciting.
Yeah, so you got some newcomers in here. You got Georgia Tech at 18, Vandy at 20. You also got USC in here. And looking back at week 3, just seeing any teams that I missed that aren't in here, yeah, I mean, your US South Florida USF, they're not in the rankings anymore.
Yeah.
Clemson's not in the rankings anymore. South Carolina's not in the rankings anymore. You got some people who are out of the loop, out of the mix, but that introduces USC, introduces Vandy, and you got Georgia Tech. So these are the people that you're gonna be looking forward to in your rankings. You're gonna be seeing something new coming up, and I just really hope things can do better for my Clemson team.
Yeah, looks like you guys have Syracuse is going to be coming in. So that should be a good game. I mean, that has to be a turnaround game for you guys to get that one. And let me see. Do I have Miami on here on the schedule? Yeah. So, this could be a tough one. We got Florida. You know, those two teams always play a competitive game. So hopefully Miami can pull that one off. And we have Illinois. They're going to be going to Indiana, which is ranked 19th. So that's going to be good. So we got some pretty good games coming up. Colorado, Wyoming. Now they want to put their team back at the late game, 9:15. I mean, what they've been having them play on a Friday,
Yeah.
a Wednesday. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm like,
just
these are high school
crazy.
games.
Yeah. So, guys, I mean, we have some great things in store as far as college football. We got some great storylines with NFL. So, we'll see you next week on Tony
Yes.
and Tony All Things Podcast,
Podcast.
the pull-up edition.
Pull up on me. Pull up.
Get that windy. What is that? Yeah, that lasted for a couple weeks. But all right, guys. Peace.
Pull up. Hey, this is the pull up show. We still got the key in the door.